Welcome. It's your humble host, DJ Dice, back with the Daily Sports Breakdown on the Audible, the only sports show that means anything. I got to come up with a catchy catchphrase for this show. I have really got to, but hey, I just enjoy running my mouth when we're talking about sports. Give a shout out to those who have been supporting the channel with the views, the likes, and the comments. Um, it is very much appreciated. I am humbled that you even find my stuff entertaining enough to watch one time, let alone leave a like or a comment. But I appreciate it all. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. All content. The shorts be coming out later on, man. You know how kind of get y'all those that want to watch a full game, just want to know, hey, who won, a little highlight or two, and we'll kind of keep it moving. How you doing, Mr. Murphy? Thank you. You're present. You're always present. You're very much appreciated around here. So let's kind of get into it. I don't like to do these long shows, especially with the sports stuff. Try to get in and get out. We're gonna start with kind of like the big news of the day. Kind of broke late this afternoon. If you haven't heard, Kawhi Leonard has been ruled out um, with a sprained right knee. Ruled out of Game 3 tonight. Um, it's been reported that he aggravated the injury during the Game 1. Kind of played through it. Game 2, Game 3, he decided to kind of shut it down. This news broke hours before the game. Very unfortunate. I was looking forward to seeing Clippers against Suns tonight. I thought Clippers had a good chance. Home crowd, series tied 1-1. Kawhi has been in rare form. Russ had a good game in Game 2. Like I said, I was looking forward to it, but unfortunately, Kawhi won't be there. Now, I think the pressure shifts to Phoenix because without no Kawhi and with PG still being out, the Suns are expected to not only win, but win comfortably. I got a feeling it's going to be a closer game than most people anticipate, but I may be wrong. Hey, I'm not the best when it comes to picking these sports things. Those that know my track record, hey, sometimes I hit, sometimes I miss. When it comes to the NBA, I do more missing than hitting. Quick update for those who are um, worried about tonight's games. 76ers and Nets is currently in play right now. Current score is, let me look real quick, 76ers up by 12. Brooklyn is putting up a fight, man, but once again, it comes down to a talent gap. A talent gap. I think Brooklyn will be much more a much better team next year. But they're like, this is just a bad matchup. And in the NBA, when we're talking about the playoffs, a lot of times it comes down to who's matched up against you. Like some teams play better against others. Some teams um, rosters, fit better against other teams than the teams they end up matched up with. But shout out to Philly. Look like they're on their way to going up 3-0. 3-0. We have big games going on tonight. 10 o'clock tip off. We got Kings Warriors. I'm looking forward to that game. Looking forward. Warriors are back at home, down 0-2. No Draymond Green. Can Sacramento keep the pressure on and really push these boys to the brink? The way the Warriors have played this year, they've been very good at home. They've been very good at home. The road record reflects that, but I don't know. This seems like once again a style matchup that is bad for one team. Sacramento is a much younger, much faster team, and you're starting to see Golden State when they stick to the championship roster, and it's nothing wrong with that. You just is a bad matchup. You got to get some of those young guys, Moody and Kuminga. You got to get them more minutes. You got to get them more minutes. You got to get more athletes on the floor because Sacramento is running them boys up and down the court. Golden State's doing a good job hanging in there with Clay and Steph with the shooting, but you got to get some of the young guys a burn. You got to know what you got. You drafted these guys, first round picks. Like, what's the problem? Like, get them on the floor, see what you have. See what you have. No, there's no expectations on Golden State repeating this year. You're down 0-2. I do think they, with the home crowd behind them, they do come out energized tonight. Make it a game. Would I be surprised if they lose? No. Sacramento has just wanted it more. They showing more of a hunger to chasing after loose balls, the defensive intensity. the physicality they've played with. I think you got to attribute a lot of that to their coach, Mike Brown. Mike Brown has years of experience. He's also been a part of the Golden State coaching staff in the past. He's got them boys ready. And I will, go on record once again. Warriors are done. I agree, Ms. Murphy. I think if they miraculously get out of this round, there's nowhere they're coming out the West. Nowhere they're coming out the West. Not as the team is constantly constituted, and this team's going to change come next year. I don't anticipate Draymond Green being with the organization next year. I mean, you have Jordan Poole, you have Clay, you have Steph, you have Wiggins on big contracts. You really can't add too many pieces free agents, especially with the new CBA that was signed, kind of penalizing teams for abusing the hell out the luxury tax cap. So it looks like the last hurrah. Looks like the last hurrah for Golden State. For this year, I'm just going to say for this year. You never know as far as trades go and all that good stuff. How you doing, Ms. VS? Everyone in the chat in the class. Ain't that many people in the class over here on this show, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm just doing my sports breakdown. I love doing the show. I'm getting more comfortable doing it because those that know, it's a little different from what I do on, when I'm down in the hood. I'm going corporate. Like I said, I'm looking forward to Kings Warriors tonight at 10 o'clock tip off. 10:30 tip off. Suns Clippers. If you haven't heard, Kawhi is out. Can Russ, with no PG, no Kawhi, can Russ turn back the clock, go back to OKC Russ, and deliver MVP type performance tonight? I think Phoenix is going to come out with a plan of stomping on their necks. You got to jump on it early. If you allow the Clippers to hang around in this game with no Kawhi, you build confidence in some of those, as Shaq calls them, the others. I think Phoenix has to come out here and blow the doors off these guys. Let them know it is without Kawhi, it's not even a contest. And even with Kawhi, you guys have a tough chance of beating us. So I think they got to come out and put their foot on their neck. Now, while I'm talking about my good old NBA, I got to talk about last night's games. Only be fair. Y'all know I'm a Lakers fan. I was not pleased by the performance they put up last night. Grizz go up and tie the series 1-1. We did what we were supposed to do. We went down there and stole one. You have home court now. What Lakers team shows up for game 3? What Lakers team, and more bigger question, which Anthony Davis shows up? Anthony Davis has as much talent as he has when he is on his game. We're talking about a top 5 player in the league. You got outplayed last night. I don't know, man. I got to give some credit to the Grizzlies defense, but you came out the gate. You were flat. The shots were short. It's just the energy level wasn't there. I don't know if the Lakers thought the Grizzlies were going to die down and roll over. Ja missed game 2. I don't know his status for game 3. That they haven't released an injury report on that, but. Bad. Performance. We made it a game as best we could. I don't know if they just looked. I want to say you took them lightly, no job, but this team has grown accustomed, especially the last 2 years. When we're talking about playing without Ja. I think it becomes a different type ball club. It becomes more of a traditional ball club because you got Tyus Jones running a point. They run a more conventional style offense. Ja is the energy. Ja is, the pulse of that team. But this team has shown the last 2 years that, hey, we not only can we play without Ja, we can be very successful without playing with Ja. But like I said, I wasn't happy about the performance. Now, Dylan Brooks has, painted himself to be the new quote unquote NBA villain. I like a guy that talks. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like that old school feel of guys being able to get on the court, yap, and refs not, teeing them up for taunting and all that. So I can appreciate a good Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is one of those guys I would, you kind of hate playing against because he runs his mouth so much, but you want guys like that on your team. But I don't know if I'll be barking up the LeBron James tree. I don't know if I'll be poking that bear. LeBron has been known to pace himself during series. Now he did have a good game too. I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron comes out with the mindset of really going after it, setting the mood, setting the tempo, and being attack mode early. They don't have anybody on their team that can really guard him one on one when he is focused. And I'm talking about focus, not just shooting step back threes. LeBron get down on the block, punish them boys inside. Set the tone. You're at home. Let's put pressure on these boys. Miss Murph said he's cornered to me. I like Dylan. I like Dylan. I mean, you need personalities like that in the NBA. You need guys that are willing to get up there and have a little fun. I don't think it's meant to be malicious. With the talk, hey, we all grew up on the playground playing. Trash talking is part of the game. It's part of the game. It's part of the mental side of the game. I can appreciate it. But I don't know if I'd be barking at LeBron James as much as he's been barking, especially when you can't stop him. Dylan Brooks, you want to run that mouth? Hey, go to coach. Tell him I want LeBron. I want that assignment. That's what that's how we do it on the playground. I want that assignment. You're gonna run your mouth. You come guard me. I don't think Dylan Brooks wants none of that smoke for a full game. He may take it for a possession or two, but he don't want that smoke full game. But let's get back down into the breakdown. Sorry, I got tabs and stuff up. I'm working on something. Talk about Heat Bucks last night. I'm not surprised that Milwaukee went out there and blew the doors off Miami. Miami is. I like Jimmy Butler. I would take Jimmy Butler any day of the week on my team. But you can't, and they're a good defensive team, but they don't have the playmakers on offense, guys that can go out there and help Jimmy, take the team over the top. Miami has a team that's it's built like a 7-8 seed. It's built like a 7-8 seed. You got undrafted guys and you start a lineup. Nothing wrong with being an undrafted player, but do you really need two? Then you got a guy on the bench that's undrafted, is heavy in the rotation. I don't know. It's funny because each year you hear about Miami when it comes to NBA free agency. Guys want to go down to Miami. They want to live in Miami. Florida's a tax-free state as far as the state tax. You think guys would want to go play there, but they can't seem to bring in the big name free agents like they used to. I don't know what's the deal. Maybe it's the style of play. Maybe it's maybe it really is the Heat's culture. Heat's culture is more along the lines of Patriots culture. I mean, you don't hear guys come down there make a lot of noise. Guys just come in, play ball. You don't really hear a lot of yapping, a lot of issues coming out of Miami. It says, hey, we come to play tough basketball, good sound offense, good defense, and let the chips fall in my. But it's a talent gap. Ms. VS says, no, I haven't discussed it. So because it's still a game. But if you're watching the game, Joel Embiid kicked Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton stepped over him after making a play, turned around and kicked the man. He's still in the game. Embiid is still in the game. They haven't thrown him out. I'm pretty sure he's going to get a nice phone call from NBA office, some kind of fine. I don't think it's going to be warranted a suspension because they didn't eject him, but I think he's going to get a nice little fine. Oh, apologies if you didn't know. I'll rewind. You good, Miss VS? You good, Miss VS? Miss Murph says, "Is it a coach?" I don't know. I just can't put my finger because they always talk about Miami and trades, especially around trade deadline. Miami's making a move or free agency. Miami is a place guys want to go play, but I just don't see them bringing in notable free agents over the past couple of years. Like I said, I like Jimmy, but the biggest acquisition they've made, to me, in my opinion, over the past couple of years, is what, Kyle Lowry. I think maybe I don't know. I guess guys are not. The days of guys wanting to play in big time markets is different now. I think it's different now, and I think you have social media to kind of blame for that. Guys don't feel the need to go to a small market. It's not a small, excuse me, a large market like a New York or LA or a Miami, and feel like, yeah, I need to go there to expand my presence. Put me in put me in line for more endorsement deals. I don't think guys too much care for that um, kind of stuff anymore. So Miami, they talk like I said, they talk about Miami every year as being one of the favorite destinations for free agents, but you just don't see them bringing in players. Now, not to focus too much on the Miami Heat, Milwaukee showed that, hey, we can win without Giannis. I think if I'm Milwaukee, I may sit Giannis for game 3. I may sit Giannis. I want him at 100% healthy because you're going to need him in the later round. I think Milwaukee has enough talent on their side to where they can possibly rest Giannis for a good chunk of this series, if not for the rest of the series. That's just my opinion. With Chris Middleton, rounding back in form, Drew Holiday's all-star, and the way they can shoot. Now they can get 3 happy, but I think they have enough to beat Miami going forward in this series. So I may be tempted, if I'm the coach, to rest Giannis for the rest of this round, if nothing else. And I'm going to break down last night's late game, Timberwolves and Nuggets. I want to apologize to Timberwolves fans. I thought you guys were going to go up there and get smoked. You guys played a hell of a game. Anthony Edwards went toe-to-toe with Jamal Murray, but it just wasn't enough. It was a close game in the fourth quarter. Minnesota had it going. Minnesota had a lead as I want to say about the 7-8 minute mark of the fourth quarter. Real nip and tuck game. I don't know if that's an indictment on Denver or just Minnesota rising to the challenge. Like Anthony Edwards had a hell of a game, went shot for shot with Jamal Murray. I will go on record and say this: if Jamal Murray is back to form, and it's taking him a long time to recover from the injury to really kind of get back to where he was. I'm talking about like Denver in the bubble, Jamal Murray. If he's back to that form, you might want to start looking at changing some of your picks of who's going to the finals. Because that guy can light it up and get it done. If he's playing at that level for the playoffs, like I've seen him play in the bubble, I don't know. We talked about it earlier, man. Denver was a shaky number 1 seed considering how they came down limping the last part of the season. But they had a hell of a game. Shouts out to them. But I want to apologize to the Wolves. I thought you guys were going to get blown out, but you put up a hell of a fight. Jamal Murray with a 40 piece. Anthony Edwards matched them 41. Like I said, hell of a game. But back more to tonight's games, and we're going to end it off with some NFL news. And I'm kind of keeping up with that. That being said, I want to say draft is, I think, next week. So what I'll be doing, possibly with the Monday show or Tuesday show, kind of doing a NFL draft breakdown, preview, look at some of the mock drafts, who can go where, and that kind of stuff. But, want to wrap up. Like I said, I'm looking forward. Kings, Warriors later on tonight, Suns, Clippers. Also later on tonight, update for those raggedy Philly 76ers fans. Miss BS says stepping up here was wrong, but Miss BS, that's the culture. That's the game. I can get it. I don't know if I would have kicked the man, but I remember probably the most famous step over a player that comes to mind in that kind of a situation is when Scottie Pippen dunked on Patrick Ewing in the playoffs and then just kind of stepped over him and slow walked over him. That's probably the most famous, memorable step over I've ever seen. That and Allen Iverson stepping over Tyrone Lue. It's just part of the game. It's part of the game. I get it. Like I said, I don't expect Joel to get suspended. Not for that. I think he might be looking at a fine of some sort. He may assess a flagrant foul a little bit later after the game, but like he's still in the game right now. The score is 58-47. I want to say they close. Yeah, at halftime. Like I said, it's a talent gap. Now I like Brooklyn. I like the pieces they have. Possibly get them a some interior scoring to go along with those wing players and guards they have. You might have something. Biggest question in the offseason for Brooklyn is going to be, what do you do with Ben Simmons? What do you do with that non-existent player and that albatross of a contract? Can Brooklyn get off of Ben Simmons? And if I'm any other GM in the league, do I really want Ben Simmons? I mean, what is he giving you over the past 2 years? What is he giving you? Nothing. If I really, if I'm of the mindset of this. Ben Simmons, retire. Miss Murph says F Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons retired, man. Just retired, let it go, move on. Your heart and your head is not in the game. And the last 2 years have kind of shown that you're not, you're not mentally strong to kind of sit in that pressure cooker of the NBA. I mean, where guys are going to be scrutinizing your game, guys are going to be breaking it down. You got to listen to the criticism. You got to listen to the Shannons, the Skips, the Stephen A's. I don't think you're mentally tough enough at this point to survive in an NBA. I just don't, and that's just my humble opinion. But that's probably Brooklyn's biggest challenge. What do you do with Ben Simmons? I don't know. I don't know if any other team wants a Ben Simmons around. Because when he's right, he's talented, but he ain't been right in a couple of years. I mean, hell, if you didn't look at the roster, you forget he was even on the team at this point. But that's neither here nor there. Kind of before I end off the show, I want to kind of get into some NFL news. It's been reported that the Chiefs are going to reassess Patrick Mahomes' contract after a couple more quarterback deals go down. Like, if you're not aware, he signed a ridiculous 10-year, $503 million extension back in 2020. Very team-friendly deal, a lot of incentives. But the GM has come out and said, hey, we're kind of waiting on, Joe Burrow. Had Jalen Hurts get signed to the mega extension last week. They're looking at Joe Burrow coming up, see what his contract is going to be like. Then they're going to be looking at Justin Herbert, see what kind of contract he's getting. They saying the plan for them is to reassess. Will pretty much mean we're going to restructure Patrick's contract to where they want him to be highest paid quarterback in the league, which typically means highest paid player. I think this has hefty implications. Not only with the Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert deals, it has heavy implications for our very own Lamar Jackson, who is still has the franchise tender out there. No team has offered him a contract. I don't know what his situation is going to end up being. Like, how bad do you want to stand on that square, Lamar? How bad do you want to stand on that square? Now, I think once Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert deals go down, I think, and it's only when their deals go down, I think you're going to be looking at a clear picture for Lamar Jackson as far as what kind of contract he can expect. If he's still hanging on getting to the Deshaun Watson deal, bro, hang it up. Hang it up. Hang it up. Forget that pipe dream. But yeah, the Chiefs are looking at, restructuring and reassessing Patrick Mahomes' contract after the Joe Burrow deals kind of go down, Justin Herbert deals go down. Jalen Hurts deal has kind of set the market. Has set the market for quarterback deals, especially with young quarterbacks. Kind of set the market. So I'm expecting Joe Burrow to get slightly more money. Expecting Justin Herbert to get slightly more money than Jalen Hurts. Not to say Jalen Hurts is poor. Got about $179 million of that contract guaranteed. So shouts out to him. But before, like I said, let me get. Did I catch everything that I wanted to catch? Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Same time during give you the recap of the playoffs for the games for the night. I'm looking forward to them. I wish the NBA would do a better job with scheduling some of these games. How you put Kings, Warriors, and Clips Suns. Maybe they knew something we didn't. Because how do you put those two games, those two series on the same night around the same damn time? I mean, Jesus. Doing a discredit to the fans. Now I got to be flipping. But thank you for everybody that has come out. Thank you for everybody that listens. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And y'all know the phrase that pays with me. Truth sounds like hate to people that hate the truth. And I'm out.